Welcome back to Stooge Stream for another episode. It's the WCPW Recap show, but we have a special episode because it's none other than Kirbymania. I am your co-host, the Stooge. I'm joined as always by the one, the only, the host of the show, the Knockout Fiona.
What's happening, YouTubers? I just gimmick infringed on our other co-host, G Banks.
Our special guest for our pay-per-views. So again, it is the one and only G Banks.
I have nothing to say to that.
She stole your gimmick.
Do you have a gimmick?
My gimmick is just ripping off King Ross's gimmicks to everyone at work, and they think I'm really quirky and original. Little do they know.
Oh, I can't do that. Yeah. Get a gimmick so I can rip it off.
Yeah, well.
Alright, so this is the first pay-per-view of the year for the one and only WCPW. I'm going to hand it over to your host. Let's kick it off.
So, Kirbymania, thus named after the new general manager of What Culture Pro Wrestling. At the end of Loaded in 2016, we saw Kirby victorious over Adam Parmesan, and he is now the man in charge. Therefore, Kirbymania, it was pink galore, pink balloons, pink ring ropes. Even the refs had a lovely black and pink shirt. I think the spot of the night was Bully Ray attacking the pink balloons with his chains.
That was my moment of the night, easily.
Yeah, it was pretty cute watching a grown man attack a pink balloon.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, so the show opened with the man himself, Kirby, coming out, but he was very quickly interrupted by Bully Ray, hence
mention Kirby's beautiful pink suit?
Oh, amazing pink suit. It was amazing.
It was spectacular.
Pastel-y pink, beautiful thing.
With the tie.
Yeah, just great work.
So the match, the opening of the show was a bit of a long setup with, as I said, Kirby, Bully Ray, then the What Culture Pro Wrestling champion, Drew Galloway, coming out. Bully and Drew had a bit of a standoff, being their first time in the ring together, because if you recall, Bully had actually left TNA by the time Drew Galloway had got there, so they must have just crossed paths, ships in the night. So this Kirbymania was the first time we ever got to see them wrestle together, which is pretty cool. Well,
I'm just seeing them face to face is always cool.
Yeah.
It's that dream match moment of two people that you didn't think you'd see in the ring together and actually getting to see it.
Not at all.
So Bully was accompanied by the Swords of Essex. He's still running around with them, and
Love my boys.
Yep.
Love my boys, Swords of Essex.
They're great. So, yeah.
They remind me of people that I actually know from my area.
Yeah.
And I'm not lying.
disturbing.
G Banks comes from the Essex of Sydney.
Drew Galloway, he was assisted by Moss and Slater, which set up a match later in the card, a 3-on-3 tag match, which Kirby endorsed with his powers of general manager.
Because he can do that now.
Yeah. Pink suit, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, no one's going to question. He's wearing a pink suit.
Yeah, I'm not questioning it.
Bully Ray had some things to say about that.
Oh,
pink
yeah,
suit.
definitely,
Yeah. Bully Ray had some things to say about everyone.
I loved it.
So this led us straight into match number 1, which was sort of a match. It was Joe Hendry versus Drake. Joe Hendry was on fire because he's still feeling the effects of being on a bit of a losing streak and not being victorious and getting the title. So he took that frustration out on Drake, but he was quickly interrupted by a mysterious guest who turned out to be Joseph Connors.
Not really.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm joking.
It's mysterious due to the fact that, look, we're all smarks. We all know what's going on. And Joseph Connors is signed with WWE as part of the UK tournament.
Yeah.
So he's on an exclusive contract with them. So this is a one-off appearance.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I get where they came from. They're like, let's have one more, last match to settle this whole feud. You know what I mean?
Well, we lost a bunch of people in one go. There's no more Mustache Mountain. There's no more Pete Dunne. There's no...
Mustache Mountain?
I know, right? I love those guys.
So at least we got to see one more match from one of them before they're all out the door.
Yeah, that's all right.
It was bit like Big Damo before he left as well.
Yeah.
So a match was set up then between Joe Hendry and Joseph Connors. A final no holds barred match. End it all. The winner that takes all, I guess.
Yeah.
Bury the feud.
Yeah, which is the main event for this show as well,
Yep.
which was very cool.
I don't know what happened to Drake. I think he just kind of...
Drake went backstage.
His cousin El Draco called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if you recall, Drake went backstage and got homoerotically massaged by Kennedy for a while.
Can we just quickly mention how much gay tension there was tonight? And I know it's wrestling.
Yeah,
I know it's wrestling, and there's
Yeah.
gay tension all the time. But today it was really pushed upon us. Like it was like
There was
wow.
a lot of men massaging other men
yeah,
for no reason.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll get to a bit more.
I thought
of that
I was
later
on
the show.
Grinder for a second. Not that I know about it or anything. Just one of my mates told me about it.
You're like, what's this app? We went backstage and there was a little bit of man-on-man action. Before this, we had Prospect. There was a promo for WCPW going to Orlando this year, and Prospect were like, where are we on this promo? When are we going to Orlando? What's going on? Kennedy letting us down again.
Yeah.
James R. Kennedy was busy defending Drake's honor and giving him a massage somewhere else, it seems.
Oh, they're full,
Yeah.
like just hands-on. It was was a very beautiful moment between two grown men.
Yes. Speaking of, this followed with Prince Amin and Gabriel Kidd. We saw Amin giving Kidd a shoulder rub,
Rubbing
pepping him up
down.
for his match. Plus, he gifted him some beautiful pink new tights.
Yeah, pair of underwear. Look,
I got you something special.
This went from Prince Amin becoming his friend and not using him as a servant to I think Prince Amin really wants to fuck Gabriel Kidd in one episode.
It looked like there was about to be a happy ending after that shot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Prince Amin was going to give him a bit of reach around before his match to help relieve the tension.
Just when I thought the sex offender chance would be lost in the fold of last year, no such luck.
I mean, well, Gabriel Kidd does have a baby face. He'd be classed as a twink in the
Let's
gay
move it on. Let's keep it classy and move it
Are you sure?
on.
Because I feel like Amin would be a bear.
Yeah, he definitely would be.
Yeah,
That'd be his cub. Yeah, anyway.
So, this led into Kidd's match, which was against the villain, Marty Scurll, who is making waves all over the world, it seems.
He is, and the current Ring of Honor TV champion as well.
Yeah, he won the
Battle for Los Angeles, the PWG tournament. He has had a huge 2016, so to see him so early as well back in WCPW shows that he's going to be coming here quite a bit.
And his first match of the year was against Gabriel Kidd, who has been facing these great names. He faced Joseph Connors, who's now going off to bigger and better things, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So what does this say about Kidd? I didn't think he looked inferior much at all against Scurll. What did you guys think?
I actually didn't mind the match. It was a great start because it was like our first proper match, if you know what I mean, of the night. So it was pretty good. I just want to give a quick shout out or props to Marty Scurll. I know, Gabriel Kidd's obviously, the younger, talent, whatever, and he hasn't made a name for himself. But I just want to say that Marty Scurll has made himself a name all in the indies.
Yeah.
Like, not once has he, been in WWE or, anything big promotion.
No,
not even in TNA, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's straight up always been stuck by the indies, gone in bingo's halls since day one, and look at him now.
Yeah. Now he's a huge name on the scene. And not only that, his talent is spectacular. Both of them. I mean, Gabriel Kidd, for the age that he is, and I say this every episode, I can't believe he can keep up with the people he can keep up now. Can you imagine what he's going to be like in a few years?
Putting them up against,
Great talent.
Great talent, because otherwise, there's great talent people that are like, why would we reverse this 19-year-old, jobber per se that doesn't do anything and lost all these matches?
Make him look like shit if they outshine him.
Yeah, but they're like, no, he's actually good. So we want to wrestle him.
We want to help him.
And you can
develop.
see.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, it's great. No, you're definitely got a point there, and you can see this talent is trying to help him develop and trying to help him get a rub and a push, and so great match. Really enjoyed it.
It was a good match. For me, it felt like it was almost going a little bit too long, but then Scurll got the his chicken wings shoulder submission thing. Yeah. So it just ended. Just went. Oh, guys, I think you've stretched it out enough. But yeah.
Well, it is a pay-per-view.
I was gonna say it is a pay-per-view, and it really felt like serious pay-per-view matches. It felt different to Loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
The
pacing and
big
stuff.
dream matches. That's what you want on cards like this.
Oh look, first comment on in my notes of the second page is James R. Kennedy Drake back rub.
Yeah, there you go.
We can't talk about this enough.
Yeah.
So many back rubs.
So
many male-to-male back rubs.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm not really going to go into details overall.
Rick, do you want a back rub, man?
I wouldn't mind one too.
I'll give you one after the
I'll
show
just
for no
keep
reason.
talking.
Yeah.
Just let me take off my shirt and get some baby oil on for this.
You guys do your thing. I was going to say, I'm not going to go into too much detail of the backstage stuff. We had a quick interview with Hendry, and it's the usual. They like to splice that up in WCPW. That's their style. You know, that's their mode. This led us into match 3, women's match with a new woman we haven't seen on WCPW before, a Brit, Lana Austin.
Yeah, great talent, great look.
Yep.
And we were hoping, like, let's be honest, after Kimberly, who wasn't the best talent, I'm happy that she got picked up by WWE. She's in NXT now. I hope she develops.
How?
I don't know.
You know what? I think she'll work better in that style.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
possibly.
I don't know. It's just her style just didn't work.
It
Oh,
just
I
didn't-
didn't see. You know, I didn't get to see what she had to offer anyway. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
In the couple
maybe
of
she
matches
had some
she
great indie matches or whatever. Because obviously WCPW picked her up for a reason. Like,
Yeah.
she obviously had decent matches for her to be picked up. But like, I didn't see it at WCPW. I don't know if you did.
No, I agree. That's why I'm happy that they picked up a couple of talents. It leads to the second person in this match, which we actually knew from TNA. She had a couple of matches there. And so we'd seen her perform previously, and she's absolutely fantastic. But I'm going to butcher her name, so I'm going to let you do it.
Evelisse.
Evelisse.
Not that hard.
All right, there you go.
It's just spelled weird. I get
just-
why.
yeah,
Why it looks
yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
She is
I know,
currently
man.
signed to Lucha Underground. She's from Puerto Rico.
Lucha. Sorry.
So what did you think of this match? Apart from Lana's trunks, please.
Oh, they were great. They wrote
I'm not
up
gonna say
perfectly.
anything, no.
But what did you think of the match before
I thought the cameraman was great.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. I'm sorry. I had to take that on.
Trigger!
Nah, look, the match was awesome. Like, you know, I actually haven't seen Evelisse wrestle before, so it was new to me. Both of them were new to me. And the girls actually put on a great show. It was like, this is what we first saw of WCPW when the females first wrestled.
Yeah.
Like, when it was Nixon Newell and Alex Windsor and all those, and Brie
Priestley. Yeah.
and all those.
And Little Miss Roxy and
Yeah,
stuff.
a little bit. What happened to her? Do you know?
I don't know. Hopefully she comes back, but I love when I see new talent. People that I don't really know what to expect from. And Lana was definitely somebody that I had absolutely no idea what to expect from. Turns out she's a really good wrestler. Evelisse, as we said, we'd seen before. I know she can hold her own in the ring and put a string of good match together, but it was Lana Austin that really impressed me. The fact that
Evelisse actually kind of wrestles like a vet in a way.
Yeah,
she does. She's been around for a long time. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But
So
Lana,
she knows what she's doing.
yeah, was the unknown quantity to me, and to see her hold her own against somebody who's very well respected on the circuit as a female wrestler, known as one of the best in the world.
She was pretty big in Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
was it?
Puerto Rico, and again, signed to Lucha Underground and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed the match. I thought it was a really good, technically skilled,
And
great
it
women's
wasn't that
wrestling match.
long.
It wasn't that long, but it was long enough. They actually
Yeah.
got a bit of a show. I thought Lana looked a bit blown up by the end, might I tell you, just to be
Yeah, maybe.
nitpicky.
Yeah, a little bit by the end, I agree. But then
Maybe
again,
Evelisse
like,
put her through her paces.
yeah, you are wrestling, like she was trying to hold her own against a great
And
talent.
like, to be honest, it's a debut on WCPW at a main event.
Yeah, so she's probably
Against-
like going hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But it's great to see the emergence of new British talent and some more lasses. Get the ladies out there. Evelisse was...
Yeah, what's her name again? Lana looks like a Chavette to me. But
Yeah, definitely has that Chavette vibe. going.
nothing wrong with it.
No,
I mind.
no.
I like Chavettes.
Yeah.
Like I was saying it before. Like
And if you want to get Banks on your side, just send him a really disapproving tweet, and he'll be happy as.
fine as.
Evelisse was successful with like a kind of spinning kick, like jump kick to the head of Lana. It was a bit like she grabbed her and then twisted into a kick. It was quite cool, actually.
Yeah, it was. It almost looked like a variation on Kofi Kingston's Trouble in Paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Nice. Next, we had a quick backstage promo with Travis Banks, reaffirming that he is no longer in a tag team because Pete Dunne has also disappeared into the ether.
Poor Travis Banks, no back rubs for him
Yeah.
from his buddy.
Oh, no more Hardstyle Collective.
Oh, true. But he's still the Kiwi buzzsaw.
And then we saw Joe Coffey, which meant that Banks and Coffey were having a match together. Joe Coffey has also lost his recent partner, his brother Mark, to a back injury, whether that's storyline or not. I assume it's
The way he
real.
was talking about it was like his brother died.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I
probably
lost my brother.
Yeah, no, that's just a Scottish thing.
okay.
how Joe Coffey
Yeah,
talks.
it's just how Scottish
I have
people
no
talk.
emotion. I lost my brother.
Dude, they spill a beer and it's like they have to hold a funeral for it. It's a Scottish thing. Don't worry about it.
So, this was like a good. I quite like this match, like for a middle of the card. It's like similar hard styles. They're both very serious wrestlers, I guess, in their characters, and they're not really into like the fanfare. I think Travis Banks may have hammed up a little bit of the comedy when he was in the tag team, but it was all business between these two.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I agree with that. Travis Banks was more to the comedy side when he was in a tag team for some reason.
Yeah.
And ironically, they called themselves the Strong Style Collective, but just trying to be a comedy heel.
Well, they were kind of comedy.
Yeah,
heroes,
true, but I don't know.
with the biting and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I think you're absolutely right. For the middle of the card match, this was great paced. Kind of slowed things down a little bit. Like it wasn't that super fast match because we had some faster matches coming up. So they wanted to preserve the crowd.
It was slowed down, but it wasn't slowed down to be boring. If
No,
you know
no,
what I mean.
not
Like
at
it
all.
was like slowed down right. Like it was like, okay, this is alright. Like because we just saw two great matches, whatever. It was like,
It
okay.
just slower paced. It just slowed the actual pace of the show down and kind of gave the crowd a minute to breathe in between matches.
It was like our back rub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. It was a good back rub.
Yeah.
I think it gave these two a chance to. They both got a couple of their big moves and spots in and misses. I thought they worked well together.
Yeah.
Coffey was successful with the win. I think he needed a win. It's been a while. He needed a clean victory with his spinning lariat forearm thing.
The black coffee. Yeah, totally agreed.
Interestingly, during this match, there was an appearance by Doug Williams, who came out to stand ringside, sporting a lovely new speckly salt and pepper beard, I might say.
Doug's looking great.
Yeah.
Mr. Brexit.
Yeah, I'm looking fantastic.
So,
Man.
And it looks like he was kind of rooting for Travis Banks.
yeah, Alex Shane on commentary was speculating quite a bit what he might be out there for, but it seemed apparent by the end that he was sussing out,
Travis Banks is maybe a potential tag team partner.
But he seemed to storm off in disgust when Coffey got the win over Banks. So who knows? Maybe he's dead to him now.
Yeah, maybe a potential match now.
But they're both imports.
Yeah.
So, like, how's he gonna back Travis Banks?
Well, because the New Zealand's part of the Commonwealth, so that's fine, and they're not as bad as those dirty Scots who tried to leave they had that vote recently whether they wanted to leave or not.
True.
But New Zealand didn't, so they're still part of the
Oh,
Commonwealth.
okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
So Travis Banks isn't as bad as Joe Coffey as far as he's concerned. I'm making this up, but I can see that being the character arc with his character currently.
So after this, James R. Kennedy went to the general manager's office, aka the broom closet, token broom closet of whatever arena they're in. Although this one in Liverpool, where Kirbymania was set, actually seemed a bit bigger than the Newcastle office. So they had a whole massive 3 square feet rather than 1 square.
Yeah. It looked like a combination broom closet storage room.
So Kennedy was pitching for a tag team title match for Prospect, actually going into Root for Lucas Archer and Gracie. But Kirby was like, bugger off, and got time for this rah-rah-rah. But Kennedy's very persistent, and Kirby agreed for a non-title tag match in which he'd run out of wrestlers, so Kirby himself had to get into gear and find a mystery partner. He sent Jack the Jobber off on the job of...
Come on, mate, go find me somewhere, but there's no one left. I'm sure you'll do right. Come on, Jack, off you go.
Kirby then came ringside and introduced... Well, I think Prospect came to the ring first, but yeah. you know.
Yeah.
Kirby, it's all important. Kirbymania here. Ringside, before we got to the match, he just had to bring out Adam Parmesan and parade him around in his beautiful fancy dress outfit he'd bestowed on him, which was a giant cheese.
It was a slice of cheese.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was Parmesan.
Fabric.
Yeah, it was cheese. It'd gone full cheese.
He did the lap ringside, handing out the pink Kirby glow
I thought
sticks.
that was funny. Yeah, handing
Only
out the glow
then-
sticks.
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was
only
like,
then to
why?
be pegged back at him.
Kirby calls the crowd to throw them at him. It's great. Remember what happened last time with glow sticks? Go on, guys. And they just smash it.
Boo. And then he sells it. And
Yeah.
He drops it too. I like it.
He was great. Parmesan's actually a great actor, so I want to see more from his character arc and development as it comes along.
So then we were presented with Kirby's tag team partner, who was El Ligero.
Come on. You got to do that properly. You can't. He's the Mexican sensation. It's El Ligero! So that's how it's done.
Kirby and El Ligero historically have beef. El Ligero is not
El
Kirby's
Ligero!
biggest. He's not the biggest fan of Ligero, so he wasn't too impressed that that's whom Jack the Jobber had found as his tag team partner. The crowd were chanting for them to hug it out. Prospect quite happily complied with that.
The cutest hug.
It was actually very cute. I lost my shit when I saw that.
Oh, look, I think it just shows that those guys are, great impromptu performers. They just went with it,
Yeah.
They own their characters. It's good. We've talked about Prospect a lot, and
Yeah.
we think they're a good team. And
Great team, great characters, great
Good
actors,
actors,
really
yeah.
good wrestlers as well. Like, keeping in mind that they're pretty much enhancement talent. Like, let's be realistic with their run currently for the last year or so has been enhancement talent, but they enhance people so well.
Well, this match again was pretty much what we've come to expect from a tag team match with Prospect. Some serious, great wrestling coupled with some ridiculous comedy breaks and spots and shenanigans. Yeah.
Stupid shenanigans, like Jack bringing the contract out for Kirby to sign while he's got a figure 4 on Gracie, I believe, or Archer. No, it was on Archer at the time. And signing the contract, that was great.
Phone call from one of the Friends cast.
The fantastic, like there was some great shenanigans in this. Getting the signed Sabre picture, which James R. Kennedy rips up, and then ultimately leads Kirby to chase him up the ramp and stuff. That was great. Just the look on his face when he ripped it up too.
But leading to that, that's where they lost.
It is.
Yeah.
So Kirby's easily distracted, unfortunately, by bright, shiny things like an Earl Hebner. But then again, like, if somebody ripped up my signed Sable picture, I'd probably chase them down and have to beat their ass.
Worse.
So James Kennedy's probably going to get off light.
Yeah, so Prospect were left to bury El Ligero in Kirby's absence, and they got the win with their double team. What is it they do? Like a...
Like it's a
finisher?
face
Like
slam and then a back slam.
Yeah.
So what you miss, because like this obviously is only an audio podcast, is every time she says Prospect, we go and do their
the
dab.
Dab because they're like 18 in their minds. Oh my god. This led to match of the night, maybe? Jack Sabre Jr., Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I'm actually going to have to give this match of the night on mine as well.
Match
Yeah.
of the night, really?
Yeah.
I think maybe we're too smarky. Like, maybe it wasn't match of the night, but maybe it's just a bit of a dream match. Like, this is like serious wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I liked about this, particularly Cody Rhodes and Zack Sabre Jr., was the fact that it was a highlight for both of them. You got to see Cody Rhodes right into his new Bullet Club persona, because he just joined Bullet Club in Japan the night before. He's all in on Bullet Club, clearly. And not only that, though, like he's changed his wrestling style, his ring style. So he wrestles differently than he did 2 weeks ago.
No, a day ago, pretty much.
Like, which is great. Like, I love seeing that type of thing. Zack Sabre Jr. is a technical genius, and he's that wily, stringy, thin, weird, slender man, as you pointed out while we were watching it, looking dude. But he can do shit in that ring that no other human being can do, like pretzeling his body around into holds that you've never seen before, or twisting around someone and pulling them down and over and then onto the... And you're like, We literally had to rewind it 2 or 3 times to be like, how did he do that? Like, I love watching Zack Sabre.
Admittedly, at the start, it bored me, but then, as you said, as it progressed, I was like, wait a minute, how the fuck did he get into that position? Like, okay, fair enough.
So, yeah, I think for me personally, that's why I gave it Match of the Night, because it's just a spectacle to watch. And not only that, the characterizer, like, I love characters in wrestling. I love when people know their characters, get into it. And Cody Rhodes knows his character really well. And the whole bit at the end, when he asked the crowd to buy him a beer, I thought that was brilliant. Like, it's amazing.
One thing I observed about Zack Sabre Jr. is he seems very contained in his facial expressions. He's very... he's Alex Shane compared this match to like a physical chess game, a battle.
Yeah.
And he really does seem like a chess player or like a poker player. You
Yeah.
can never tell what he's thinking. He doesn't show emotion. Like he's very zoned in, which I'm...
Wrestling robot.
Yeah. I think he kind of
Do
is.
this, do that, does not compute, does not go...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great though. It is. Now, what we forgot to mention, of course, this was for the Internet title, which Cody Rhodes currently holds. Got to the end of the match, and Rhodes retained his title with a massive jumping crossroads that looked fantastic. I don't think I've ever seen him actually do a jumping crossroads. Have you?
No, I haven't.
No.
Never seen it.
No, not
So
like
it wasn't seeing it tonight.
Yeah, not
This
like that.
was
It
after
great.
Zack Sabre Jr. stretched him out with some serious submissions.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
some stretching going, like when he pulled both of his arms back, and it almost looked like he was popping both his shoulders out of place, and that twist that he did, and then pulled him onto his head into that headlock and stuff. It was, again, it's a spectacle. It's one of those matches that you can. It's not a flippy shit match. This wasn't.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
No.
That's why, like, as I said, like, I didn't like it at the start because it was a slow, progressive match. But
Yeah.
as you got to watch it, you appreciate it more and more. It's like, wow, these guys are putting themselves in some weird position, like moves I've never seen.
Neither have I.
Yeah, I'm just like, wait, what? How? Yeah.
Like, if you want flippy shit, go watch Ricochet, Will Ospreay. That match was flippy shit, spectacular, 5-star match. If you want a technical wrestling, like, just thought-provoking match, this was what this was.
I think this is my favorite style of wrestling, for sure. But this is what's the brilliant thing about pro wrestling is the diversity and how you put a card together and how you mix up people in their different styles. Like, this is why we love it, because you never know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
So, yeah, as you said, Stooge, Cody Rhodes called for someone in the crowd to buy him a beer afterwards. He had a bit of banter with the crowd, just reaffirming that he's not a fly-by-night, just, international name that's going to drop in and out. Like, he takes being the WCPW champion seriously.
And in case you didn't know he was part of Bullet Club, he too-sweeted the fuck out of everyone in that arena.
Oh, he told
made
them.
sure.
Yeah. He just
Too
flown
sweet
in.
for you,
Yeah.
too sweet for you.
This then led to the 3-on-3 tag match with Bully Ray, Swords of Essex, Slater and Moss, and Drew Galloway. This was an interesting match.
Okay. I'm going to give my thoughts really, really quickly on this in like 2 sentences, which is weird for me. This was a WWE heel style match building
I
up
actually was gonna say
to
this-
a main event.
You fucking got it spot on there, dude. That was literally the most WWE match I've seen in WCPW.
Yeah, it was just all Bully Ray doing heely shit and dragging the match out. I would have rather this match be 5 minutes shorter and him not do any of that crap.
Or not even have Drew or Bully Ray in that match.
Yeah, just let it be Swords of Essex, Moss and Slater, and then wait until next week. Lights out for Bully Ray.
And
Drew.
they can do something at Loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. They could have had that match at Loaded, and it would have been main event.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. I thought this was a wasted match. A waste of, like, it wasn't bad. It progressed the story. It did what it was supposed to do, but the match itself was a waste of time.
Yeah.
I think the crowd were waiting for when Moss got in the ring with Bully for them to have a really good showdown, and for
Which was
because
good.
Moss is the big hometown monster of WCPW.
There were some great spots in that match too, but like
it was anticlimactic.
Yeah, like, because Moss gets in the ring with Bully Ray, and you're like, this is going to be
Yeah,
also
here
in
we
the
go,
last
yeah.
20 seconds. And then I'm like, I want to see a match now with Moss and Bully Ray,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but not this. Like,
Yeah.
this is just... And again, it wasn't. If you just take it as a match, you could have put it on another show, and it wasn't a bad match.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't bad. It was a very house show, showy.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could have put this on Loaded the next week or
Yeah.
the next day, and it could have been main event easily.
Yeah.
Just because the fact of the storyline, not
Yeah.
even the match-wise. It could have been like, oh, this is the main event, and shit's happening here, and shenanigans.
It just
and
didn't
it leads
fit
up to
in with like
so-
how good the rest of this card
Exactly.
was.
Yeah. I've like trawled off on my notes here. Bully and Swords of Essex got the win. Obviously, for Bully
Boys.
going into his match.
You're still happy about that, you
Yeah,
dickhead.
yeah, of course I am.
Bully going into his match with Drew Galloway next week. How did he get the win? Who got the win? I don't know.
Who cares? Move on.
Just like
It was a mess.
Oh, the chain.
Excuse me,
the
don't
chain.
move on. My boy, Paul Robinson, actually did one of the best pin covers of 2017 ever. It actually should have been a 5-star pin cover. He put his arm over the big man himself, Johnny Moss, and got the free count.
While he was
That's right.
passed out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Bully Ray had taken him out with his
Yeah.
chain.
Yeah, it was the camera angle was wrong. You didn't even see the hit with the chain. It was just a complete mess.
Look, the Swords of Essex did all right. And Robinson throws himself around. He takes some
Oh, yeah, he takes some
bumps,
bumps.
man. Yeah.
That little-
man.
Yeah.
My boy, that
you
guy.
gotta respect that.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
he's my boy.
That little dude takes some massive hits. You
I've
gotta-
literally seen 20 dudes that look like him take hits like that all the time. And they get back up and do the same thing over and over again. That's why I respect that man.
We were saying he's like a chihuahua. It's, they keep barking and barking. It doesn't matter if you boot them away, like, get away. And in 2 seconds, "Rah, rah, rah, rah," you take it, you kick it over the fence. You're like, oh, it's done. 3 seconds later, it's back at your ankle. "Rah!" Like, it just doesn't stop.
It just wants blood. It wants to draw blood.
Luckily, following this match, we had the grand finale of Joseph Connors and Joe Hendry. Literally the last match of the show, and the last match we'll see these two in for a while.
Last time I'm going to see that stupid spit face.
Don't worry, you won't be allowed to do that in WWE.
Yeah, good.
But if you listen back to this show from episode 1, I've been a huge fan of Joseph Connors. His personality, his character, his wrestling style. I just like the whole package.
No, admittedly, you didn't actually jump on the Joseph Connors bandwagon. You actually told me about Joseph Connors when we
Yeah.
first started watching WCPW. You're like, oh, this guy's from IC.
Yeah, I'd seen something. It was either ICW or one of the other British promotions. That he had a feud with El Ligero. And he was like trying to unmask El Ligero and stuff. And he was just great. And he had a whole cult of people that followed him around. And so he's such a personality. He's so good. And the first couple episodes of Loaded, you hear me saying, like, no, he needs to turn heel. He's so much better as a heel. And he does. And, man, he was on fire from second one, like, as soon as he turned heel. I'm happy that he got picked up by WWE because it means he's going to get paid a lot more than he does on the indie scene and a lot more exposure with the new UK tournament and WWE UK show. But in saying that, I'm so sad to see him go. I was kind of like heartbroken watching this match because I knew that this was it.
Yeah.
I hope he stays heel in WWE.
Yeah, they picked him up as a heel.
Yeah, excellent. So, Connors came out first to the ring. Joe Hendry was quickly met by Connors when he came out next. They battled on the entrance ramp, battled around the ring. They were ringside for quite a while before they actually got up into the ring and going back and forth into the barriers, battling the crowd who seemed to want to touch and grab them and grope them and whatever.
Don't pat the wrestlers. It's not a fucking petting zoo.
They're not baby ducklings.
I know, right? It's fucking retarded. Like, what are you doing?
And better yet, they're covered in sweat and baby oil and bronze iron.
lotion.
You made a good call. Knockout Fiona made a good call when she said that these people are working. Like, what are you doing? Like, would you like it if someone came to your workplace and started touching you or putting your hands on
Just
you?
randomly.
Like, just randomly and not say anything, just touch you. Like, would you like that? No. So fuck off. Don't do it to
Don't
them.
touch the wrestlers.
Yes.
Unless invited to.
Yeah, exactly.
If he puts up a hand for a high five, give him a high five.
If he wants
doesn't,
a back rub, give him a back rub. Yeah.
but let him ask for it first.
Yeah.
If not, it's sexual harassment, fellas. Like, come on.
Although it was a no holds barred match, it was just a pure wrestling match.
Yeah.
There was no weaponry,
And
no
I was
shenanigans.
about to say this was my match of the night for that reason. Yeah, but you just said it.
this was really close for me, dude. Like, this was I was flipping between both of them,
Yeah.
but the other one just won. But this was so close for me.
Reason why I picked this one more just because there was a bit more spots that I liked.
Yeah,
That
get
reason
that,
being,
yeah.
like, yeah.
And for me, it was I just like some of the stuff that Zack Sabre
Yeah.
Jr. was doing.
But other
I've
than
never
that,
seen it before.
Yeah, but other than that, like probably that match would have been second.
Yeah, it would have been easy to flip them either way, right? Like, and you would have been right. You couldn't argue it either way. You're like, yeah, you're right. I kind of like mine better, but you're right. And like you're like, no, but you're right, but I like mine better. Like you can't argue it either way.
religion worked like that. Yeah. Sorry.
Of course, Joe Hendry was victorious. He needed that.
And sorry, before we continue, I knew that was gonna happen. I don't know if
Yeah.
Obviously.
yeah. Like it was bound to happen, but I didn't mind that. Like,
No, it's an old thing in wrestling. You go out with your watching the lights. Like that's what happens. If you leave a company, you leave on your back.
Yeah, it would have like totally upset the natural order of things. Like, yeah.
he left with a loss. Ah!
So this is good. This wraps up that storyline moving forward for those that stay behind, carry the WCPW brand. So who knows what will happen with Joe Hendry from here.
It does. Gives Joe Hendry momentum. Closes
Yeah.
off that story arc. Gives a farewell to Joseph Connors. It was a great way to wrap that
Yeah.
all up.
Yep, and that was the end of the card. Kirbymania just, done.
That's it.
But it was massive. It epic. It's very much worth. I think that like it is worth actually getting the What Culture Extra for.
Yeah, 100%. It's worth
Even just for a
subscribing.
month.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
this, because you've got this, you've got another episode of Loaded, and you've got another episode of and you've got the Lights Out pay-per-view
Yeah.
coming
Yep.
up, which we'll be talking about mid next week-ish, because we're always a little bit behind, because we've got lives and other shit to do.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But yeah, like it's definitely worth the subscription. I mean, what's it costing us? Because we're in Australia,
Oh.
that's converted to, it's about $14.
No, not even.
Yeah, to say even, like it's 14 or less.
$10 or something. Yeah.
So it's fantastic value.
Yeah.
It is.
So that's it. That was the first pay-per-view of WCPW for 2017. I'm sure it's not going to be the last because we already know that Lights Out's following right on its heel the next week. And we're going to have more. The company is just growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger with the
better.
And better. And with the spotlight on UK wrestling now with the WWE UK tournament starting up in a couple of weeks itself, this should lead to more viewers and more interest in the UK wrestling scene, which WCPW is now the head of the pack. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's coming next.
Yeah, me too, man. I can't wait to see what the future holds for WCPW and just wrestling in general.
And just wrestling in general is damn good at the
Like,
moment.
yeah, at the moment we've got some, like, TNA's back, WCPW's on the rise, we got, WWE touring in countries, like,
WWE even using like good talent like Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. Like wrestling's good at the moment,
NXT's
man.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
In this topsy-turvy crazy world, yeah. Look to the wrestling to guide your way.
It's real to me, goddammit.
Find that video.
We'll be back for another episode very, very soon. I think that's it.
That's it. So thank you so much for listening. I am one of your hosts, the Stooge. Joining me, as always, is the Knockout Fiona for our WCPW recap.
Wrestling rules, y'all.
Our special guest, G Banks,
Peace, my homes.
who also hosts the TNA Impact recap, so make sure you check that out. We'll be back with you very shortly with some more wrestling and a whole lot of other content on the channel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and until next time, don't forget adventure, excitement. Stooge craves not these things.
Welcome to the Stooge Revolution.